All right. Good morning, my friends. Welcome to the Coffee Run with John on Casino Gaming TV. Here we go. It's a Thursday. It's a Thursday throwdown. We got a couple of things to kind of maybe do a little bit of a battle on later on. Not an aggressive battle, but a fun one today. I want to actually compare something I do all the time with the same thing. So you'll see what I mean in a minute here. But before we go, we got to kick things off with our normal. We're gonna go to our YOLO here. I'll get the light turned on in a minute, but as we jump into it, remember, I'm going to YOLO. I'm going to go all in here. I'm going to play something later on that might be not the way you'd consider playing for real, right? But everything, of course, has a goal attached to it. We're going to talk a little bit about goals today on a number of levels, okay? Goals are your North Star. And I think if you can find yourself in a strategy that achieves the goal, has a better chance to, if you have the bankroll that you can use as leverage to get to your goal, right? And your goal matches your risk appetite, you're going to be okay, right? Of course, couple that with discipline and being able to keep your emotions in check. All that matters, right? Again, goals being the sort of the operative term for the week here. I say this not lightly. You don't look like your goals. You look like your habits, right? Effort doesn't lie. So when Ed from Multi Win likes to say, practice like you play like you practice. That's kind of another way of saying that thing, right? If you're gonna, presume to be some kind of a DI, you got to put the time behind the dice. If you're going to presume to be a really good bettor, you got to put time on the bets, right? If you're going to be a good coder like me or a good teacher, you got to put time behind it, right? You're not going to get where you want to be without putting in the time and the hours, right? That's what that basically says. So you can't just wish it into existence. My daughter likes to say that she manifests things by thinking them into existence. I'm like, that's just not a real thing. You have to actually put the hammer to it sometimes. You know what I mean? Like vibes and energy matter, but the hammer matters more. So, all right, let's go YOLO. Right now we are 5-0 in the latest round of it, right? I have $143 sitting right here. We're going to go out there and light it on fire. So let me turn the light on here and we'll go out there. Let's see what we can do here with the YOLO. I'm going to drop the money out there. I think we got 100 and change. Let's see what we can do with that. I think I'm going to go. We talked yesterday about doing this. We're almost to green, aren't we? Almost to green level. I think we are. I think we can do basically 110 inside, right? Which is great. They're all green. We can go. Yeah, we can go $15 on the 4 and 10. So 110 inside. 30 or 15 on the 4 and 10. That makes what is that? 110 plus 30, 140 across. Wow. And we'll do $3 on any craps. So we're not going to get the 11 today. We're going to leave the 11 as a naked spot today on our thing. So let's go. Where is my dice? Oh, here they are, right in front of me. All right, here we go. Shake and bake, Wayland style. I'm not going to do any setting. I'm just going to toss them up here, and let's get anything but an 11. Anything but an 11. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There's the dice. It is an 8 hard. 4, 4. Square pair. That's great. That is so good. There's a square pair. Awesome. All right. Lose our any craps bet, but so what? That's $35. That is fantastic. That means tomorrow, if I get this, let's make that look like a green. Tomorrow, now we have 160 across and a $15 or $12 horn, most likely. Look at that. We're going to be in good shape tomorrow. We got everything covered again. And we're looking, actually, we can even go here, 30 on the 5 and 9 and put a, $5 on any craps again. I like that. We're doing good. We're going to get to the point, hopefully soon, where we can get a $65 win and lock up a tie, right? Lock up a tie at some point. We're going to get there. That'll be 6-0 now. I'll mark that in the book. 6-0. There's the money in the rack next to the remote control. Sweet, man. That makes me a little bit happy right there. To get, why is the camera doing the crooked thing again? I got to fix the camera. Yeah, that was fun. Well, I just want to get it to get some blackjack. Look at who's here. G-Dub is here. Good morning, sir. We got Frank, who I still owe a phone call to. Nemo says, do not forget the rant. I thought you had something to say from yesterday. I ranted yesterday pretty hard on the whole side bet thing. Did you miss that? I thought I did. Anyway, Skill and luck survived the anniversary. That's good. Good for you, man. All right, let's get after here. Let's get after a couple of things this morning. Nothing heady today, really, but a couple of items that I think are going to be good food for thought. So first things first, we're going to all send Ken from Ken Knows Gambling a little bit of love. Ken has been doing yeoman's work on his series. He's been doing this series of, how I would do it. Again, not to be confused with OJ's "If I Killed Nicole, Here's How I Would Have Done It" book, which was insane. Ken is doing the "If I was to gamble for a living, here's how I would do it." More to the point, here's how I did it as a professional gambler. And we like to joke about my daily paycheck, right? I turned a fake 10,000 into a fake 100,000, and I'm turning a fake 5,000 into a fake 500 every day, right? We're doing the daily paycheck thing here, and there's no risk to what I'm doing, right? Other than my reputation, and me looking like an idiot if I don't get it done, right? That's my risk, right? What Ken is showing you is what it was like to live that way. Now, if I were to do this for real in Vegas, if I moved to Vegas and I staked myself 10 grand and I did exactly what I did, spent the first year building up the 10 grand to 100 and then spent every day tearing $5,000 into 500, like I did on the show here. If I actually did that, right, I wouldn't be doing it to live on. I'd be doing it as a side hustle, right? I'd have my job, I'd have my retirement, whatever I'm doing anyway. I would be doing that to say, look, if I could make the $500 a day, that's extra money for us to fly family out or to do the things, right? Ken is showing you, if you had a rent of this and a food bill of that and a this of that, what would it take to gamble for a living? I can tell you for me, I think I can, if I do this, will you see you won't see it, but I can tell you for me right now in our current situation with the house that we live in and the mortgage that I've got with the new high interest rate, right? And how much food we eat and the stuff we do, right? It takes about $11K a month to get through a month for us, right? That's probably true for most of you. Actually looked at all your bills. You're probably going to be in the $5,000 to $10,000 a month range between your mortgage and everything else, right? What does that add up to, right? So if I do, let's say 11,000, right? I'm going to do it. You guys can't see the calculator, but 11,000 divided by 20, which is 20 days in a month, Monday through Friday gambling, that's $660 a day. I would need to make $660. Is that right? 11,000 divided by 20 is $650 a day. Oh, $550 a day. I would need to make $550 a day, 20 days a month, just to live. No health insurance, right? That's what Ken's like. He's like, man, if you got to make $500 a day, it sounds easy. You got $5,000, you can just pump it out. It ain't that easy, right? You burn the 5K one day, and you're up it. You're up the creek, right? It's not easy to do that. The amount of stress. He used to say he would eat Valiums back in the day, right? Because of the amount of stress that it was. Doesn't seem like a lot of money, $500, but every single day the grind is real. That's what he's showing you. You got to watch that series of his, right? I'm having fun with my daily paycheck. Ken's grinding it out like a real person, and he's showing you, like, look, this is why he'll say things like, close enough. You need $500 a day and you win 464, tap out. Chasing the 35 hours will kill you. The next day you might win extra $50, right? Right? That's what his message is. And that's why he's such a disciplined guy. And I respect that. And I play along with that. Ken's having a little procedure done today. So thoughts and prayers with Ken. I think he's probably at the hospital right now getting it done. So he'll be okay. It's something relatively simple, but love to have you all just kind of keep him in the forefront here, and hope that he comes out of that just fine, as he should. And we love Ken and hope that he hope that it works out and he feels better when it's all said and done. All right. Yesterday I ranted about the side bet thing, right? So what happened was we uncovered a side bet. Big AZ had this idea a while back, which was the all day hard way thing, right? Basically it was a side bet on a craps table where you can bet on the hard ways. Instead of having each hard way, right, you bet one thing and says, look, if any four hard ways come, it pays X. If all six hard ways come, the aces and 12s included, you win X, right? So if 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, any combination of hard ways come, you win whatever. That was his idea. We had Michael Shackelford do the math on it. He said, yeah, this is a thing I would totally approve and recommend to a casino. Well, of course, 6 months later, somebody else put that exact same thing on a felt somewhere. That was the rant yesterday. So I did cover that. My question, though, today is not about that, right? It's pros and cons of side bets. And I really want you to think about this. And let's actually talk through. And in chat, I want to get your thoughts on the side bet thing. Okay, the side bets. And what I mean by this is a couple of things. I've done the analysis, as you know, on ATS, right? The ATS is a bad bet. We all know it's a bad bet. If 20% house edge bets are not good for anybody. But it does inject massive volatility, right? You can go 555, 555 all day long and all of a sudden hit one for 1750, right? Makes up for all the loss, right? It's a huge swing and a miss, or huge swings on that one. The thing I hate about the ATS the most, especially at casinos where you can do it for $1, is the mess that it makes. Like you watch any of Big AZ's videos from our last meetup down there in Vegas, you'll see that the ATS area is covered in white chips, and there's 11 people at the table. Everybody's got 212, 333. There's just shit everywhere, and God forbid a come out 7 happens, and all those chips get cleared, and all the money comes back out. It's such a time suck. It's brutal. At least when it's nickels, it's less craziness, right? That's a big part of it, right? The reason why AZ thought of this hard way side bet was because I said at one point, on cruise ships, there's no ATS, there's no repeaters. On a cruise ship, because there's no side bet, everybody goes all in on the hard ways. And it's hard way madness. And there's like 1 million chips in the hard way section. And again, it takes forever to reset these bets. So is the risk worth it? Number one. Is the time suck worth it? Number two. You know what I mean? And I see a lot of times, I say this on Facebook on Facebook, you'll see it, all that great chip porn, blah, blah, blah. And like, how'd you win? What was your strategy? Oh, so-and-so hit the ATS. It's never, well, I hate to say never. A lot of times people say, oh, I'm a great DI and I threw 50 rolls and I'm amazing, right? You see that a lot. Which I take it as bullshit most of the time. People like to squawk about the one time they had a 50 roller. But do you ever win those big chip porn hands, right, with regular craps? With just being a good craps player, just making smart, solid bets, capitalizing on opportunity. Nobody ever talks about that. Like, hey, turned 500 into $3,000 and I just played smart, or I played this way. Side bets, I think, give this illusion that the game's beatable, or that when you see the chip porn, like, he did it, I can do it. And I believe with all my heart, the casinos put the side bets out there, and they love it when people win them. They love when somebody hits an ATS with blacks on it. Somebody hits a 100 ATS, and they go to Facebook and they post the $26,000 in winnings. They love that because people think they can get in there and get it done. Chasing that is a form of just giving it up. Just write them a check and don't even go. That's how I feel about the side bets, right? Most of them. Some of them I think are actually achievable if you're a DI and if you're actually able to do a thing, right? I don't know that the ATS is one of them, but I think things like hard way parlay, I think a thing like a repeater bet, potentially possible, okay? Here we go. My daily dose of DI is going to be this. I had a great talk this morning with Jacob, okay? We were texting. It's funny because I was actually texting him. He was voice texting me back about this dice control article that was written by a university. And there's a couple of them out there. And he made the last comment he made to me, I'm going to repeat it to you. I'm going to not repeat it, but I'm going to summarize it, right? He's like, why do people do DI? Right? Why are they doing it? Like, what you ask the lion's share of DIs, why are they doing this? Right? Well, they're trying to beat the 7. Right? They're trying to get the SRR up high. They're trying to have these long rolls, right? They're trying to, instead of going 4 and out, they're trying to go 10 and out, or they're trying to get to 20, and they're trying to have this ego boost, right? And I can relate to that. It's great when you get a long hand, right? And most people say that. What have I said to you all this time? I want you to rewind, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. Rewind back 2 years of my videos, right? And when I first started the journey, what did I say to you? I said, I would like to be a consistent 7. That's what I said. I want to be a consistent 7. In fact, if I could be a consistent 4, I'd be happy. If I could set a point and roll 3 or 4 numbers and then 7 out every single time, I'd be a millionaire, right? That's the Dallas drawdown, right? Go up high, take a hit and come down, take a hit and come down, take a hit and come down, and go the hell home. That's the way I want to play, right? If I could control the dice to the point where I could guarantee myself 2 or 3 rolls every single time, I'm happy with my SRR being 5, below 6, if I knew that 3 of those numbers were going to be box numbers. You follow me? That's a winning formula, right? Trying to beat the 7, trying to grab a long hand is the thing that people cling on to with DI, right? Reconsider this. And it goes back to my very first slide on goals, right? Jacob says, why not try and defeat other numbers? Skill and luck always talks about beating the 9. Let's find a set that beats the 9, right? Or a DI that can avoid the 9. I'll lay the 9 so I can get my don't pass out. I'll take my 3 hits and then I'll let that 7 on the don't pass rule the day, right? Reconsider beating other numbers. Reconsider the idea of using DI to have more effective hands, okay? Chasing the 30, the 40, the 50 roller is great, and when it happens, God bless you. You should make a ton of money on that, right? But the more effective hand, like I say, is 2 or 3, 4 or 5. Maybe it's whatever, right? If you can get a number to double tap, like I do with the 5 and 9, or today you'll see with the 4 and 10, you can have a more effective hand, even if it's shorter. That's a good goal for a DI. Find the right set, find the right toss, lock it in. You can't beat the 7 forever, but if you can beat it regularly for a short period of time or target certain numbers, beautiful, right? If you can control the dice or influence them in such a way that it supports the system you want to play, that's the secret to it. Or not the secret, but that's the goal for it, right? Let me set the dice and do my DI so I don't throw a 9 on the come out. Let me then set my dice and do my thing so I can get a couple of inside numbers. Run a skill 66, let's say, right? Make my $50 or my $500 and run for the hills with the 7 come out at the end. Support your system with what you're doing. I think that a lot of DIs are trying to do this magical thing, and in reality, the goal needs to be reconsidered. Follow? So with that study that Jacob sent, I'll do a deeper dive with the study. It's the same guy that did the mechanical arm. He did both the mechanical arm study and that one. And again, I think in both studies, he's missing some points. I want to talk more about the physics and stuff, but he's missing some of the key takeaways of DI, but he makes a lot of really great points in there as well that I think we should break it down and talk through it. But that's my general thoughts on it, is this. Talking about the goal of DI should be, I think, reframed. It's not just about hiding the 7 and getting long rolls. And I've said it to you for a long time. If I can get 5 or 6, and even JB, you know, my good friend JB, who hates DI, thinks I'm crazy for doing it and wishes I never talked about it probably. Even he says to me all the time, he's like, dude, if you could actually get 4 rolls every single time, you would be a billionaire. You would turn off all the lights at the casino. If you could guarantee yourself 4 rolls every single time, it's not about having a 10, 15, 20 roller. It's about having 4 every single time. Every single time. That's the secret to this whole thing, right? That's the way you win. That's the way that you make a difference, right? Have DI support your system and have more effective hands. Anyway, not really a rant, but it's what I wanted to talk about. Jacob got me into that this morning. I had a whole different topic on mine today, but Jacob got me thinking about that this morning. And I thought, let's just talk about it, right? There you go. And Dr. No, if you are a DI, you could throw a 7, lay the back wall, right? Again, more effective hands. If you could leverage into the 7, I don't disagree. A lot of people say this, like, why don't DIs just set for the 7? Well, because you don't want to give the dice up, right? If you're a DI, you don't want to give up the dice. A 7 ends your throw. However, if you can target it on the come out, much better laying the back wall than playing the pass line, right? If you could actually increase the number of 7s that you're seeing, lowering your SRR to like a 3. If my come out SRR was a 3 and my in hand SRR was an 8, now we're talking. Now we're getting come out 7, lay the back wall, make a fortune, get the point set, 2, 3 rolls, draw down, draw down, draw down, and rock on out of here. That would be fantastic, right? Use the eye to support your system. Use the eye for more effective rolls, not trying to, have a miracle hand. I think the right goals are important. Now, is any of that possible? Look at me throw. There are days where I do exactly what I say, and there are days where I can't do anything, right? I think that's a big part of it. So, yeah, the human factor, and that's the thing, right? The machine that they made in this dice study, and we'll talk about that, doesn't do what humans do, right? It is designed to say if a human could be repetitively perfect, here's what would happen. But humans do different things. Anyway, I think you're right. I'm going to have him on the show a couple times. We'll talk about it. All right, let's go to it. Let's get to my Thursday throwdown. Today we're going to do part of the Philly special. I'm going to go show you what that looks like in a minute. Parts of the Philly special are the 6 and 8 and the 4 and 10, the way that I play them, right? And the 6 and 8, I look at, and I say this a lot. I use sports analogies quite a bit. The 6 and 8 to me, if I'm looking at a football team, they're like the running back. They're going to chew up 4 yards at a time, 4 yards in a cloud of dust, 4 yards in a cloud of dust, right? They're going to they hit often enough that they're just going to put money in your rack all the time. They're going to be the drivers that kind of pay for things, as I would look at that. The 4 and 10 are kind of like your wide receivers. They're going to go deep, right? So what I do in the Philly special, once I'm out of the hand, the 6 and 8, I do a sister press and then a collect, a sister press and then a collect. They're always moving up, but they're every other one they collect. So I'm always putting money back in the rack with those things. The 4 and 10, I'm letting them go deeper. I'll sister press, and then I'll collect on the third one. So I need 3 4s or 10s to come before I bring money in. When I do that though, it's like I think it's a 4 or 6 to 1 payment when it comes in. I'll show you here in a minute what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to try and test out today. We're going to go ahead and do the 6 and 8 versus the 4 and 10 played that way. I'm just going to isolate those bets out of the Philly special. We're going to take a look at how it goes. All right. Let's go. I'm seeing some notes in here about WinCraps. Yeah, I've got to get WinCraps reinstalled. Remember, I run a Mac, right? And so my Mac updated OS Parallels, which is what I use to run Windows through my Mac, is A, not cheap, but B, it doesn't work on this OS right now. So I'm in the middle of getting that thing to be working. I will not run a Windows machine directly. So, all right, let's go. I'm going to pull the table down, or the betting thing down. I'm going to get Crapsy turned on, and we will. Let's go here. I'm going to go to the table view first, and we'll talk about the Philly special, and then I will get I'll get to throwing. So let's pull all this mess out of here. And if you want to play it long and Crapsy, I'm going to get the table going here in just a minute. So let me get reconnected here, and we'll do that. All right, I'll show you an example. We'll do this probably at the green chip level. We'll do the 6 and 8 for $30 each. We'll do the 4 and 10 for $25 each. We'll do the 4 and 10 first. Okay, the 4 and 10, it's going to be a sister press twice. So the first win on a 4 or 10, it's going to pay $50, right? We're going to sister press so that they both get a unit. The next hit on a 4 or 10 pays $100, minus the big, of course, right? We're going to sister press. They're both going to look like 100. On the next 4 or 10, the third one, it's going to be press on either one of them. The next one, we collect 2 black chips. We're in there for 50. We're out for 200, which pays for all of it. Obviously, we're only 110 out here, right? So we're out of there we're out of the hand with profit, and now we have bets. And again, if it happens to come again at $200, guess what? Boom, boom. If it happens to come again, it's 400, right? And we're here and here. And on the 6th 4 or 10, which sounds like it's a miracle, you have $400, it's going to pay 800. If you want to go bye-bye, 800, 1200, $1,600, right? If the 4 or 10 hit 6 times before a 7, which happens quite a bit, believe it or not, that's what your potential earnings are from a $50 starting point. Okay, that's a thing. We're going to try that today, okay? And again, there's 6 ways to roll 7, 6 ways to roll these guys combined, right? You potentially could be in that spot. Now the 6 and 8 work a little differently. They're going to be more of a driver. So the first one I'm going to pay it in reds, $35. It pays $35. We're going to drop a buck and make it look like 36. Why? Because 36 becomes a perfect sister press. They go to $48, right? If either a 6 or 8 comes again, it's 56 bucks. Okay, there's 56, right? Pays for both bets essentially, right? We're out there for 60, we got 56 bucks in the rack. If it works once, both bets are covered, minus a couple of dollars, right? Actually, it's minus $5, okay? From here, they both go up another level, right? The next time they hit, you're gonna press them both by 30 bucks. You're gonna drop more money and make them both look like $77, okay? So that's how they work. We're gonna go ahead and run that today. We're gonna run the 4 and 10 versus the 6 and 8. One's gonna collect more often, the 6 and 8. One's gonna collect bigger values, the 4 and 10. We're gonna take a look at which one of those two is best. Now, when I'm playing craps, when I'm playing the Philly special and I'm really being aggressive, that's how I play the 4 and 10 and the 6 and the 8 as part of the same combined strategy. So here we go. Let's actually go. I'll show you the bet screen first here, and we'll see what's in the rack. In the rack, I've got 1,000 and 1,000. Okay, we have both live Crapsy now. The Crapsy should be up right now. I just now pressed the button. Okay, so guy in the front will be the 4 and 10. Guy in the back will be the 6 and 8. And let's rock this thing out. Let's get the off button over here. I'm going to take $100 from the guy in the front. He's going to get 4 greens, and he's going to go 25 and 25 on the 4 and 10. I'm not going to pay VIGs today. Okay, I don't want to deal with white chips if I can help it. I'll try not to. The other guy for $100 is going to get back 40 and change. He's going to go 30-30 on the 6 and 8. 30 and 30. And that's it. Okay, that's the two guys, and that's their bets. We're just going to see if either one of them has and I want to see which one of these things, which group of numbers produces better today. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's get Crapsy. The bet's closed out. I'm going to be coming out here, and yeah. Let's make sure you can see the landing zone. Oh, hard 4. Not a great throw, but it's a hard 4. The double deuces. So there's the Ian special, Ian Olsen special, right? 4-4. All right, let's get the puck on. And there we go. We're on the 4. Nothing's changed out here. Let's go. Now, if I have a short roll, of course, everybody loses, but we're going to see if either one of these two methods produces more for us. All right, here we go. Points for shooter. They're not separating in the air for me at all. That's a 4-3-7. Come out. PSO, they're not separating. They're kissing all over the place. Not good. Not good. No bueno right there. All right, let's reset. So I'm just going to put their bets right back out again. So out of each rack, just go ahead and reset it. Let me go to here. Guy in the back needs $60. I'm going to take 100 out of his rack, and we'll get 40 change. So there he is. The other guy's going to take the $50 he had left over and reset his bet. So he's back. They're both correct now. Puck is going to be off. Let's go. New shooter. Let's have a little better release there, Mr. John. That's better. Okay, hard 4 again on the come out. Look at that. Twice we've had the hard 4. That's 2s right there. 2-2. That's a 2-2. All right. Here we go. I'm going to get reset. actually need some coffee. I'm dying today. One of those. You guys don't know. I'll give you a little TMI here, but I've been going to the gym, and every day I get up at 4:45 and I go to the gym, put in an hour, come home, breakfast, and feed the dogs and stuff. And I'm so tired anymore. I'm so tired. So I'm just like mainlining coffee after I get back. I know it's not good for me, but I'm just having so much coffee right now to try and stay awake. All right, here we go. We're on a point of, I didn't move the puck. We're on a point of 4 again. Let's get her done. That's going to be a 7 out. Oh my God, a 5-2-7. Jeez, Alou. 2 PSOs back to back. This dice set is my nightmare right now. All right, that's bang bang. 2 PSOs, baby. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite? Reset your bets. Let's go ahead and get these payments out again. So again, the guy in the back, there's $60 for the 6 and 8. Same bet. Guy in the front's going to break a black chip. Get 4 greens and drop two to reset his bets. Wow. 2 straight donkeys right there. Ugliness. Very, very ugly. And let's go. Wow. Let's have a one. It's great when I do comparisons. Which strategy is better? And I just PSO all day long. No strategy's good. We're doing this right here. We go. Come on out, baby. 4, 6, 10. Boy, the 4s and 10s are keeping pace with the 7s, right? I just can't seem to get them at the correct times. All right, 4, 6. All right, mark it up. There it is. The 10 is on. Let's see if I can throw something other than a 7 this time. Wouldn't it be great if I could? Okay, here we go. Whoo! Anything but a 7 right now. Just give me anything. Oh my God, another one, 4-3. Can you believe it? 3 straight. Tell me this doesn't happen in real life, right? 4-3. Where's the headless horseman when you need him? Wow, 3 straight PSOs. That's awesome. What a great day. What a great day. Geez, Alou. All right, 4-3. Here we go again. Let's, wow. $100 for this guy here. $40 and change. Rinse and repeat. That's 3 straight donks for him. Other player, $50 out of the rack. Replaces 4 and 10. And now we're just feeding the beast over here, huh? Where's the dice? Wow. Ugliness. Ugliness. Maybe this time we'll catch one number. Here we go. It's funny. I say this a lot. There's an 8, 6, 2. My throw, I can feel it. Like I know that people think I'm full of crap. But there are days where I just feel like I'm off. Like it's not, I can, not just how they fly, but how they leave my hand. I'm like, today's not my day. There's just some days you have that feeling, and today's one of those days where I don't like anything about what I'm doing here. Anyway, not an excuse. It's just a thing, right? Sometimes you just don't feel comfortable. Here we go. Anything but a 7. Anything but 7 right now. Let's go. I'm going to say it out loud. I'm going to say it out loud. Here we go. That's a 3, 4, 7. Are you fucking kidding? Look at this shit. 3, 4. Oh my God. 4 in a row PSOs. Woo! Man alive. Talk about which strategy is the best. Going home is the best. This is one of those days where I say to you, you know, I fully embrace the idea of, what do you call it? Independent trials and no trending. That said, some days you're getting your ass kicked, and don't take the ass kicking, right? So I've got $60 right here for this guy. That's exactly what he needs to get out there again. If you're getting punched in the face, cover your face. That's the message of today. $100. There's $100 in greens, $50 out there. So yeah, some days it ain't your day. Go the hell home, right? 4 straight 0.7 ounce, 4 straight times. Here we go. Here we go. This is almost like the day I had over at Sunset Station or Santa Fe Station. Here we go. Coming out. That's going to be a 2 and a 6. It's an 8. So far, I've thrown nothing but the good numbers, right? 4s, 10s, 6s, and 8. I've come out on all of them. I've not yet had a payment yet. Maybe this is the guy. Maybe this shooter will do it. Jen says 1 count. I'm not 1 counting today. But maybe this, I have faith in me. I love me. I love me. Here we go. I'm going to say it out loud again. Anything but 7. I'm going to challenge the dice fairies to not hurt me here. Here we go. That's a kiss of the dice. It's a 3 and a 3. Hey, we got something different. Look at that. Look at that. 3, 3. We got something different to happen. That's amazing. Oh my goodness. Yay. Woo. All right. So the 6th player will get paid his $35. I'm going to pay it in reds. There's 15, 30, 5. I'll do the 5 actually coming in whites. Okay. He has no other change in his rack. I'm not going to break a black chip to get 1 white chip. I'm going to borrow from Jen a white chip to make it 36. Okay. The next payment will get, hopefully, some whites. And we can use that to pay her back. But there's our bet. $36 or $48 on the 6 and 8. It's a sister press. Here we go. Here we go. The shooter has maybe woken up. We'll find out. Oh, they would kill me, Mad Hatter. They would kill me for saying it. But you know, I don't believe in the superstitions. I like to challenge them whenever I get a chance to, just to prove they aren't true. 6-5. Yo, Chiro. 6-5 mid-mo. Yo. All right. Let's do the crapsy reset. Let's rock some inside numbers. Here we go. Gary, some days energy is off and you run into a torpedo table, right? If it ain't happening, it ain't happening. There's some days where you're just, it's not your day, right? It's just, sometimes it's just not your day. And that's okay. The good gambler doesn't go out there and try and force it. There's an 8, a 6-2. That's the point. Don't force it. Right? Eventually, math will work itself out. You'll get out of the doldrums, but don't put your bankroll at risk waiting for that. Sometimes it'll happen, but it can take too long. You can't sometimes outlast your bankroll. All right, here we go. That was an 8. You didn't see the throw. I'm sorry, but that's going to pay $56, $56, which is great. There's Jen's dollar back. Thank you very much, my friend. So we sister pressed them, then we collected. The next 6 or 8 would be another press. All right, here we go. Coming out. Coming out. Thank you, Overthinking Craps, for gifting a membership. That's really awesome. Appreciate that. Here we go, coming out. Oh, another kiss. 5-3. Look at the 8s though, right? The 6s and 8s are popping. Back on the 8. It's a 5-3. And here we go. Let's get the crapsy button. Here we go. Yeah, I keep forgetting the camera. There it goes. I just did it. I keep forgetting to go back and forth. All right, here we go. Coming out or dropping them in. Booyah. Be a good throw. It's a 6, a 4-2. 4-2-6. All righty. So people ask a lot this question, 4-2-6. When you sister press, which I'm going to do now, on the 6 and 8, it gets confusing sometimes because what is your next press level going to be? You want to keep things as normal as possible. Here's a way to make it simple. This is going to pay $56. All right. How much can I press each of them by with $56? Well, you can't. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is drop a nickel to make it look like 60, right? Then just give them each $30. Like, try and make your presses out of your winnings an even number. Like, use the winnings, calculate it from here. Don't try and figure out what your next bet is. Just say press them both by 30. Do what's figure it out. And what this becomes is this: $50, $75, $78. Okay. They'll clean you up as they go. So we're at $78 on both. Pay 91 in a minute. That'll be a collect. So press, collect, and so forth. The 4 and 10 have gone to sleep, which is fine. If we can wake those two guys up, maybe they'll pay off too. But this will be a good example of like I said, these ones pay less, but they pay more often. Where the 4 and 10 pay more, less often. And is there actually a difference? Right? JR says, don't ever sister press. I'm trying to get 10 ways to win here. Right? That's why I do it that way. I don't know which one's coming, but I got 10 ways to get it done. So that's the reason for it. Here we go. Let's change the view again so you can see the landings. Let's go. That's going to be the 7, 4, 3. So we get out of that hand with nothing. I think these guys lost $10 on that one. 4, 3. But on that roll, if you count the numbers, right after the points were set, we hit a 6, we hit an 8. That's it. We only had 2. It's funny. On that, we had a set the point of 8, got paid on a 6. Set a point of 8, got paid on the 8. Or got paid on the 6, and that was it. We had 2 payments that whole time. Even on what seemed like an okay kind of a roll, just didn't work out well. All right, let's get the money out of here. Bummer. It's a big bowl of bummer salad today. All right, let's get the 4 and 10 guy. The $50 out of his rack covers his bets. The other player doesn't have $60 clean. He's got to take a black and get 40 change. Come on. And then do his betting. Maybe something will happen on this roll. Maybe this is the one. At least we got paid once in there. That was kind of fun. Fun to get paid once at least, right? Coming out, here we go. Here we go. A little adjustment to throw here. Let's make sure we can see it. Oh, big bounce. Midnight. 6s. G-Dubs says sister press once and then press. I can see that. I can see, like, to me, once I get the black chip off a 6 or an 8, doing sister pressing, then I would say take one of them to the house, right? It takes 2 hits to get there. That is a 2 and a 1, 3. 3 craps, 3. I rolled that. 2 on 3. I didn't press the crapsy button in time, so sorry about that. Sorry, gotta let it do its thing here. Okay, 2-1 entered in. And then I'll press the button again. And here we go. Trying to find a point here. Trying to find a point. 6-5. Here we go. Oh, aces. Look at this. Look at this mess. We're going to hit the ATS on the way out the door here, right? 1-1 aces. Wow. All the craps numbers. Pass line players getting hammered right now. Let's do it. Let's have this be a yo and the perfect come out sequence, right? Just get all the horn numbers out of the way. Wouldn't it be fantastic? Another midnight. Boy, am I on a streak here, huh? 6-6. I'm trying to throw the dice a little deeper right now, and this is happening. So 6-5. Let's go. Hit the back wall directly. Yeesh, ugly, ugly. 4-1. We have a point. We have a point, folks. 1-4-5. There we go. Woo! That didn't take long. Here we go. Here we go. Let's start getting the outside numbers. Let's get anything. We've already burned about $500 on both these players. Just trying to get out the freaking door here. All right. Here we go. Dice are out. That was super short. It's a 3 and a 2. That's your point. 5. Buckshot, baby. All right, get your come out game on. Here we go. Nine. 6 and a 3. All right, mark it up. Mark that 9. And here we go. 6-5. Okay, dice are out. We haven't gotten paid in 4 or 10 yet, have we? I don't think. That's a 6. 5-1. Great. It's roll 9. That's our first payment. Besides, that would have been the 5, but that's the first actual number we've hit in the box. Crazy town. All right, I'm going to drop $1 out of the rack. Drop my buck. Let's get him pressed up to 48. And there's the bet. Here we go. Time for a run here, Johnny. Time for a run. The screen changed. I can't see it. 1-5. That's a 6. Awesome. 5-1. There we go. So I'll pay it out front. So you can see it. It pays $56, $55, $56. Straight up collect on the first one. We'll punch them up to 78 on the next one if we get it. Here we go. All right, dice are out. Good looking toss there, Mr. John. 628. I liked that one. A 2 and a 6. 2 and a 6. All right. Sweet. Let's get paid. That's gonna get paid again. The same thing. $56. 50. 55. $56. I'm gonna drop a nickel. Press them both 30. And so what'll happen is they'll both go to $78. Take all the reds out of here. There we go. They're ready. They are ready. Let's go here. Aces. Here come the horns, Dan. Here they come again. 1-1. We just need a 4 for the small and to get paid on a freaking bet. Give me that damn 4. Give me that damn 4, huh? Like a nice hard 4, she said. Give me a hard 4. Give it to me twice. Give it to me twice. Here we go. Come on. 8. I'll take that. That's good. Just as good. It's an 8. 5, 3, 8. Fantastic. So that'll pay $91. So 75, 91, and that is a collect. And to the point made by G-Dub, if you want to sister press twice like this and now start hammering the 1 that comes, that's fine with me. I'm going to color up in this guy's rack here, just to make it neat and clean. He's got 100, 200 in green, and he's got 25 in red. I'm going to make the reds look like a quarter and the greens look like blacks. And just to keep his rack nice and tidy, okay? Now, his next one is going to be another sister press. If we can catch it. Again, slow mover, and I get that. It's not going to make you, a house payment. But again, they're just trying to fund the rack. They're trying to get the rack money, so everything else can happen. They're just like this. They're the running backs. They're the fullbacks of our football team. That's how I look at the 6 and 8. In this strategy, I'm playing them that way. I'm not playing them as the home run. I'm playing the 4 and 10 as the home run. All right, dice are out. Let's go. Oh, another kiss. 1, 2, 3, ace, deuce, repeater. No, we had a repeater on the aces, right? 2, 1, 3. Come on there. 2, 1. That's a 2, 1 over here. Right? That an aces repeater? I think that is. If I go back to this screen here, it'll show us. Oh no, we must have cleared them out. We have a 7 somewhere? I thought we had the aces earlier. It should be showing repeater aces, not, I don't know why it's not. The 8 has 3, the 6 has 1, the 11 has 1. What the hell? Oh, that's yesterday's rolls. That's like, what is going on here? That's not right. This is like stuck. I'm looking at these numbers and that's totally wrong. This is stuck on here. Hold on, let me refresh this. I'm like looking at that going, that is not right. There we go. That's what I expected to see. That's actually the rolls from today. Okay. Yeah, repeater on the aces, which is cool. You're a crapless, and repeater on the 12 too. I know if we look at how that screen there is a little bit janky, but the 12 has also got 2 greens on it. So repeater aces, repeater 12. If you're on crapless, again, the way I play crapless on the outsides is that I full press and then collect the extremes like that. That's a good win right there. That's a really good win, actually. Repeater on both of those things, shit. Because yeah, if you're at a quarter, right, on the aces and it hits for 150 and you full press it, now you're at 175 up there, and that pays 6 to 1. That's 600 and 7, 8, 9, 50, right? That's a pretty good little win from quarter bet, right? All right, here we go. Enough yapping, right? What does Duracell say all the time? Less chin, more spin, right? Here we go. Looking for an 8 or a 6 or a 4 or a 10. Something even. Something even if we can do it. 3, 2, 5. Okay, well, that's not even number, but it's good for y'all. 3, 2. All right, I need an even number. Even number, baby. Here we go. Nice out. 7. Damn it. 4, 3. Ugh. Good looking throw though. I did like the throw. 4, 3. Oh, I didn't press the Crapsy button. Sorry, folks. It'll just take it a minute to lock you out. While it's locking you out in Crapsy, I'll clear the bets. And so, just FYI, the guy with the 6 and 8, he's got 325 in the rack, or whatever. He's got 825. So there would be 975. He's actually basically even. All those losses earlier, he's made up for his losses. In fact, of course, this is a loss, right? But had I pulled it down, he had generated enough money to be even. That other hit, if we got another hit there, he would have been fine. 4 and 10 guy has not gotten one hit yet. He's literally donating money like crazy. There's his last one. Let's go 25 and 25. And our 6 and 8 player is going to go $100 with 40 change. And the last one, let's make this our last shooter. Is it 815? Yeah. Last shooter right here. So if you're going to be in Crapsy, you're going to rail dump. This is the time to rail dump. That was a 4-3, by the way. Crapsy, this is your time. Here we go. Coming out. Last shooter. Last shooter. Unless it's if it's PSO, not the last shooter. If it's anything beyond that, we'll be okay. Here we go. 8. 5, 3, 8. All righty. Okay, we got a point. Let's hammer it. Four, 1, 5, fever 5, no field 5. Don't come travels to the 5. And here we go. Give me even numbers. It's a 6-5. There's the yo from the last shooter that we needed, right? 6-5 yo. Needed that one. 6-5. Let's make sure that the other screen has got the right stuff showing. Nope. I don't know why this screen's roll tracker does not seem to want to catch up to itself. Hang on a second. Lost my mouse. There we go. So weird how it just doesn't like to stay focused for whatever reason. All right. Let's do it. All bets set. 6-5, 2-1. Six, 4-2. That was a beautiful throw. 4-2. All right. We dropped that penny. Drop the penny, make them both look like 48. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. All right, there's your 48. And here we go. Dice are up. Not a great throw. It's a 4, finally. Oh my gosh, look at us. Look at us go. Look at us go. We finally got a 4. Oh my gravy. All right, that'll pay the $50, which is awesome. There's the $50. Get them both pressed up. I'll let my friend pay my VIG for me. There's the VIG. Borrowed $1 from my neighbor to do that. All right, finally. Finally got a 4. Let's go. Eight, 5, 3, 8. That's great. That's a collect. Cool, man. That'll be $56. 55, $56. To the rack it goes. That's awesome. That is the puck off, by the way. That was the point being hit. Everything turns green. And this screen is now not doing the thing, right? 4, 5, 4, 6, 11. Yeah, this roll tracker is wrong. What the hell is happening with the roll tracker? It's not playing well with others. Come on, refresh. That's the right one. Okay, I don't know why. I'm sorry for the roll trackers acting weird, man. It's just literally not picking up what it should be picking up. All right, coming out. New number, new point. New point needed. Here we go. Six, 4, 2. New point is 6. All right, let's keep the motor running over here, huh? $516. There we go. Buckshot. A buckshot. We get paid on that one, which is great. 5-1. Okie doke. Let's go to the payment screen. There we go. Right. That's okay. So this is going to be 56 bucks, 55, $56. I'm going to drop a nickel, press them both by 30. So again, when we do that, we end up with $78 on each one, which we haven't yet been able to collect on. We've gotten here twice. We haven't collected yet. We've gone from 30 to 48, 48 to 70, 78. So now we're going to get our fourth 6 or 8 hit, hopefully. Our second collect. It's kind of a lot of work to get the 6 or 8 to hit 4 times, isn't it? 4 or 10, same thing, right? It's hard to get the numbers you need to hit as often as you need. It's a humbling game. All right, here we go. Coming out, baby. Is that Corey? Here we go. Oh, hopping the reds on the come out for the YOLO, huh? We're getting close to it where we can afford to do that. There's a 4. I got, I think, 15 bucks for tomorrow's YOLO. So, all right, there's the 4. So far we've set the 4 as a point 3 times now. And the 10 is the point once, which means we've given up those abilities to profit on these things on the come-outs. We might consider hopping those guys on the come-outs just because, right? Just because. Here we go. Points 4. Points 4. We're in a good spot. We're in a good spot, folks. We just got to get the dice to play along. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, another kiss. It's a 6. Yay. Yeah. 4-2. Awesome sauce. All right. Oh, I didn't press the Crapsy button. Sorry, folks, from Crapsy. I guess the Crapsy folks are probably happy about that. But let me let that come so I can put the number in for them, and then I'll pay myself on the table. I'll move the screen while I'm waiting for it. Come on. 4-2. 6, easy 6. Okay. So that'll pay 91, 75, 91, which is fantastic. That is a collect straight up. Next one's a press. We're going to press the next one, which is super good. And again, I can color up my guy over here. He's got 100 in green, 75 plus 25. So he's got 200 bucks that I can color him up with. And don't look now, but he's got 900 bucks in his rack. 150 and change out there. He's actually in profit, believe it or not. If I pull him down, he's in profit. The 6 and 8 guy. The 4 and 10 guy has got literally nothing going on. He's had 1 hit this entire day. Sitting there waiting for the miracle. Like, that's literally it. All right, here we go. Looking for a point of 4. Looking for a point of 4. Let's go. Oh, I got to change the screen. There we go. Points 4. Let's go, shooter. 5, 4, 1. No field 5. Oh, rolled it. There we go. 1, 4, 5. Okay, nothing happens for me. Folks in Crapsy getting paid right now. And here we go. Dice out. Four, 2, 6. Awesome. 4, 2. Great. All right, now we have a decision to make. How high do you want to go with the 6 and 8? That's going to pay again $91, right? 91, 75, 91. So we can do a lot of things here. We can go like for example, they can each go to at least 120, right? So you can go to, 100 and let's just call it 20 and 100, right? So let's get this green as reds. Okay, they'll both go to 120. We'll take back our change here, right? And that's gonna be, I'll make that a $5. A little bit of change come back, no big deal. But now they're both at 120, and if you want to, at this point, you can mentally say to yourself, I'm done with the whole sister press thing, and let them each just go as far as you want. But yeah, we're at 120 each. Now we're getting black chips back off those guys. Yeah, here we go. And again, it's not like it's, I'm not asking for a miracle here, right? We're looking at the 6 and 8 between them have hit 5 times, right? The first time goes from 30 to 48. The second time we collect the 56. The third time, 56 goes to 78 rather. The fourth time we collect 91. The fifth time, the 91 becomes 120, right? We're only at 5 hits between them, and they're both at black chip. Right, as a little driver, it's not terrible, right? I know that you can make more money if you press the one that's coming, but this is not a bad little scenario here, right? 5 hits of either of them, we're catching black chips now. Here we go. Let's actually catch a black chip. I'd love to get a black chip in the rack. Be awesome. That looks like a 10, a 6-4-10 on the end. All right, we're gonna get another sister press in. Look at that. Looky here. 6-4-10. Awesome. Let's just go ahead and pay that son of a gun, right? It's going to pay $100 for 2 in VIG. I'm going to borrow $2 from my friend to pay the VIG. Okay. They will both now go to 100. So one more 4 or 10, we get some money in the rack. One more 6 or 8, we get some money in the rack. We're gonna be in good shape. Here we go. Point is still 4. Yeah, Randy, I should be playing the come out roll. You're right about that. For just the 4, or hop them, either way. Let's do it. Oh, ugly throw. 2-1-3. Not a great throw. We'll take it, but it's not what I wanted. We are the aces away on the low side, and we are the 9 and 12 away on the high side. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't change the screen again. That's an 8. Yeah, baby. Yeah. That's a collect. 6 deuce. 6-2-8. Love it. All right, that's 150 for 10. It pays 140. But I'm going to drop $10 out of my rack and say, give me 150, please, Mr. Dealer. And there's the 150. That's cool. So this guy here has locked the profit. There's his $1,000. He's got $59 in the rack, locked in profit, plus 240 out there. Technically speaking, he's made 300 bucks. If I pull him down, he's up 300 right now after being all this PSOs. That actually worked pretty good. I'm not going to pull him down, but you could. 240 plus about 60 bucks is he's essentially up 300 bucks. Not too shabby for a little sister press that folks make fun of. Little grinder. I would love a 4 or 10 right here. I would love to bang out a 4 right now. Oh, little flutter shot. It's a hard 4. Sweet baby Jane. It's a hard 4. 2-2. Awesome. That'll pay 200 bucks, which is great on that 4. Look at that, 200 bucks. All right. Choices on the 4 or 10 here, right? Collect the 200 bucks, which is smart, or pull them down, go back out with $50 and reset it. If I do that, my rack is back. Look at that. That move right there, I'm back to my starting bankroll. In fact, if I stop playing on the 4 or 10, I have 50 bucks in profit. After all the PSOs, that thing just, boom, made itself back. It doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, it happens big, right? 50 bucks just brought back $400 to the rack. Okay? Not too bad when it happens. You just got to beat it, right? You got to get that one roll, right? Where it works out. Pucks off. Here we go, coming out. Where's them dice? All right, here we go. Aces. Aces. Oh, you guys can't see it. Shoot. Let me turn the other. Sorry about that. I didn't change the camera view. There they are. There's the aces. That's the small. Boom, as they say. 2-2 or 1-1. That's the small. Ding 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 ding. I should play the music. Hold on. I have a thing that plays music. Let me go find it. Where's the music player? There you go. There's your small. Look at that. Small music being played. How do you like that? A little bit of production, a little bit of high production right there. We're still coming out, though. We're still coming out. Oh, no, a kiss. It's a 4, 3-1. I should have been hopping, right? We talked about that earlier. Should have worked them. 3-1, 4. I'm just going to stick to what I'm doing, though, right? 3-1 there. But that is the... it's fun. It's the 5th time we've had a 4 or a 10 as the point. Isn't that crazy how that works out? That video that AZ put out where I hopped the 4 and 10 on the come out with it. I had a big bet out there and I hopped the 4 or 10. And of course she hits a 10 on the come out, right? It just, for some reason, I don't know. You call it fallacy, whatever. That seems to be where they happen for me. Here we go. Points 4. Let's roll it. Let's get it done, baby. 1, 2, 3. Ace deuce. Whoops. 2-1. Come on, Craftsy. I want to see if this thing is keeping up with itself. Why wouldn't it? Oh, there it goes. I guess I must have pressed the wrong button. Sorry about that. Looks like here, the 3, that's the first 3. The 6 is on the verge of being a repeater bet, actually. That's cool. We hit a repeater 2, repeater 12 today. One more 6, and it's a repeater 6. That's cool. All right, let's go. I would love to see that happen. How cool would it be to have a repeater 6 today, right? After that horrible start to the day, right? 6, 5, 2, 1. Skill says, just saying how the ATS is overused and why everyone. Yeah, the ATS is overused, right? And I get it sometimes, right? Sometimes we hit it, but even so, that's only, for a $5 bet, that doesn't recoup all the losses from the ATS, right? It's like, it's just, to me, it's just once in a while I do it. I'll do it on myself sometimes, but I really just don't. I don't know, man. Maybe part of me doesn't want to win that way either, which is weird. 6-5, yo, Chiro. 6-5, mid-mo. 6-5. So we are now in lay the 9 territory. No, we need the 12 still. We need 12 and the 9. 12 and a 9 we need. All right, 6-5. I should turn the bonus bets off on my lives. People wouldn't play though, right? They wouldn't play if I turned the bonus bets off. All right, here we go. A little horn run right here, huh? In the last 7 rolls, we've had 4 horns in the last 7 rolls. All right, here we go. Dice out. That is a 4, 3, 7. Bummer. 4-3. And that's it for me. Let's go back to the, we'll go back over here and we'll talk about all the things that just happened. Let me get that, and turn the light off, and we'll go here. Let's just chat. We did not have a show last night. Too much going on over there. So no show last night, Dan. Let's go ahead and review what is going on with that screen. Is that me or is that thing skewed? It looks skewed to me. It's weird. All right, so Daily Paycheck. We're going to skip that screen. We're going to skip this screen. We did the Precious Sisters comparison today. I should have done that ahead of time. But let's really review how that thing turned out today, right? And again, I look at like these smart betting systems. This way of playing, by the way, I don't typically do what I just did. And I do play that way, the 6 and 8, the 4 and 10. But I play that way once I'm clear. Like once I do a move where I'm already free and clear, then I'll play that way. So, whatever, the PSOs would have got my other move anyway. But what I predicted would happen exactly happened, right? The 6 and 8 are grinders. They're going to go up and collect. And you grind out a win. We have $59 that I locked up on that one, right? We had $240 out there. So really, again, if I'm really paycheck mindseted, I'd have pulled that $240 down and walked out with $300, right? That's not bad. It grinds its way, the 6 and 8, to that kind of win on an okay roll. That was only an 18 roller. It's not even like a great roll, but it just happened to be that those numbers clustered in. The 4 and 10, ass kicked, bam, right? They are going to hit less often, but for a lot more money versus the grinder, right? Neither of these things reduce risk as soon as possible. They take a minute to get their risk off the table. I couldn't say that those things checked off the first box, right? Locking up profit as soon as possible? Nope, they don't really lock up profit as soon as possible. They both, however, do use leverage as a hammer. When you're pressing with your winnings, you are leveraging, and it becomes a big hammer, as you saw that, right? When we lose table minimum, right? We're not losing a lot. We're not going out there big like with a drawdown or a regression. We're going out there small. So we do lose the lowest amount we can lose, which I do think checks that box. When it does win, it does really damn good. Win a lot when you can. So I think it does check the last 3 boxes, but not the first 2 on this way of playing. But it's an okay, right? An 18 roller is great to me. I agree. On a normal 18 roller, you should make a fortune, right? You should make a ton of money on an 18 roller, but it's not like you're writing any love letters for an 18 roller, right? That's the 50 rollers, right? But 18 rollers happen all the time. You end up with that roll. As somebody said in chat, this is a very, very typical roll. You end up with like PSO, 6 roller, PSO, 11 roller, 3 roller, 25 roller. That's kind of the table rhythm. Does your bankroll withstand the early ones, right? Number 1. Number 2, does your strategy capitalize enough to recover that shit when it does happen? Today, we ended up with a really bad start and a really good finish. The bankroll gave us a chance to wait for it, and the strategy we played worked on both things. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. I got to get out of here. My wife needs some help upstairs, so I'm going to take off. With all that said, God bless y'all. Again, prayers for Ken. Hope he's doing okay today, and we'll check in with you guys in the morning. Friday Follies tomorrow. I have I think a pretty fun plan, so I'll see you in the morning. Have a good rest of your Thursday. Bye, all.